We're on right now?
I think so.
Okay.
We might even be in multiple places. I think we might possibly be live streaming on Twitter and YouTube.
We suck in one venue. We're
Now we're
gonna
going to
do
suck
that.
across multiple platforms
Oh,
all at the same time.
well, good.
I can't promise you that we're live streaming on those. You can load us up on the Twitter. Do you follow us on Twitter? You only follow one dude on Twitter. Just Trump.
Just Trump. He's funnier than we are.
Yeah. Just about everybody is.
Well,
What
yeah.
about
Wait, I have? It's full of Trump. I can't find any.
what about if you load up YouTube? I don't even know how you find a live stream on YouTube.
I don't know either.
Well, anyway, hey, welcome to the show.
Yeah, we got nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, doing a live show this week. Excuse the messy background. It's been a bit of a chaotic holiday season's around. Kids are back in athletics and stuff, so kind of do have some time constraints. So we're gonna push through the show this week and dive into the headlines. How's your day, Joe?
Better than yours.
Better than mine. Well, we're gonna start out at Kansas City, Missouri, where this is how the headline reads: "Shit falls from the sky in Kansas. Drunk crop duster plane pilot spreads 4 tons of manure all over the city."
It sounds more like Florida, doesn't it?
It does. According to the police report, 51-year-old Barry Wood had a blood alcohol content level of 0.48% when he was arrested.
This sounds a lot like Florida.
6 times, which is 6 times over the legal limit, and he was allowed to drive a motor vehicle, and 12 times the legal limit allowed to operate a plane. He was supposed to spread 4 tons of liquid manure over fields belonging to his employer, but his capacities were visibly too impaired. He turned in the wrong direction, heading over the nearby city of El Dorado, instead of the fields he was supposed to spray before releasing the smelly cargo. Residents of the city were taken quite off guard as tons of liquid manure started. This sounds like a horror story. Started raining all over the city, causing several car accidents. And totally, I would just quit. I would be done. I'm done.
You imagine the police force, they're getting called. Somebody shit on my car.
Well, anyway, residents were taken off the guard as those tons of liquid manure started raining all over the city, causing several car accidents and totally ruining an outdoor wedding ceremony. But if that's not an omen to run for your life, I don't know what is.
It's doomed to fail. Just annul it right now.
Okay, Butler County Sheriff's Office spokesman Lieutenant John Fitzpatrick said the emergency lines received over 900 calls in less than 5 minutes after the incident. Everyone was freaking out, complaining about crap falling from the skies, fearing biological attack from Islamic terrorists or the Democrats.
They're doing that right now, aren't they?
Deputies were rapidly able to identify the plane behind the incident and were waiting near the landing strip when Mr. Wood returned from his venture. He will now, holy cow, he will now face a total of 269 criminal charges.
Wow.
Including performing an aviation function while over the prescribed alcohol limit, aggravated assault, and criminal damage to property. If found guilty, Joe, on all charges,
Aggravated assault.
If found guilty on all charges, he faces a total of 1,235 years in prison and a fine of $2,335,500, and his pilot license could also be suspended by the FAA.
Well, maybe.
Trial scheduled for January.
Over 1,000 years in jail with that blood alcohol content, he'll still be alive.
Yeah.
He's pickled.
He's got a way to go before he dries out. So. Out of California barber is recovering from surgery after the mother of a 7-year-old boy allegedly rammed him with her car due to complaints about her son's haircut. The suspect,
wow.
The suspect, identified as 28-year-old Ruby Butafuco, remains at large after fleeing the scene with her 2 sons. While police continue to search, 63-year-old barber Brian Martin said he's still trying to grapple with what happened Wednesday in front of his Delta barber shop. Martin said that Butafuco brought her 7-year-old son for a haircut, and the boy squirmed a little bit, resulting in a small nick on the back of the child's neck. The mother noticed the cut at home and then returned to the store. She came back and showed the barber this little scratch, To which she replied, what can I do about it? There's nothing I can do. It didn't bleed or anything like that. It was just a tiny little scratch. Martin's business partner, Dustin Souders, says that Buttafuoco left and tried to kick the shop's door in. Martin then followed her outside to take a picture of her license plate. Buttafuoco then allegedly rammed Martin with her car, knocking him into the knocking him into the storefront window and breaking the glass.
Wow.
Barbara believes that she was trying to kill him. She was looking right at me. She held the steering wheel and she aimed right for me. She looked at me and pushed me straight through the window. Souders believes the beam at the corner of the store stopped the car's forward momentum, and it may have saved Martin's life.
May?
May have. Buttafuoco was, he says that Buttafuoco was a repeat customer who brought her son to the store 3 times a year. What would he do? Police describe the suspect's car as a 2006 Toyota Prius. They have yet to locate her.
That's what saved his life.
Yeah.
Because he could have just picked it up. Yeah, get this away from me. Wow, for nicking his neck.
Yeah, I mean,
Gosh, I can't imagine as a kid even saying anything about that.
who cares?
Mrs. Buttafuoco does.
I mean, I've had some bad haircuts in my day where, where they've like shaved bald patches into the back of my head, and it's just not been pleasant. So, I lost connection on the iPad here. Let's see if we can move on to.
All right, so California has. Did they find her?
No,
they
they've not
said they're
found her
still
yet.
looking for her.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
She's the one with the dented Prius.
Yeah. Bear with us here. Well, they bear with us every week, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have that.
We can just start making stuff up.
Well, it's not going to get any better than the crap manure falling from the sky.
You should have really saved that for last.
That's pretty rough, man. That's pretty rough.
Did you have a good day at work today?
It's fantastic.
It always is.
Always, always, always. Not sure what's going on here. Apparently the internet signal is going to die.
Yeah, we don't need all that.
No, I did not log in from Benton Harbor, Michigan.
Huh.
Sorry. I'm still not sure what's happening here.
So Paul Foreman came in today.
Did he?
Yes, he did. Paul Foreman is the guy who arranged all the lighting up around the courthouse for Christmas, for the Christmas open house. Did a fantastic job, and he got some recruits from the high school, but pretty much did everything himself. He got some donations, but he just kind of took it upon himself to get this thing going. I went to his first meeting that he had to put lights up over here, and I gotta tell you, I left a little disillusioned. It seemed like he really knew what was going on. He had an answer to every question. He really had his crap together. But it didn't look like to me like anybody was going to be pitching in or anything. And that's when I decided to do all that stuff around the bakery and stuff.
Yeah.
But Paul really, he just put it out there. He did really well, and he has big plans for next year.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good ideas in the bag. I run into the same issues, people have ideas, but they don't want to do anything to help bring those ideas to
Right.
fruition, and they'd rather
Right.
sit back and bitch and moan if
Oh my
they disagree or
gosh,
something.
that is the one thing I see people complaining all the time about. They'll take something good that's happening and they'll find just something bad. It's like they really have to search for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paul took that by the horns, and he got such a great start on it, and it got people excited, and now he's really gonna run with it. He was telling me some of the ideas this morning, and
Yeah.
awesome ideas.
Yeah. Good job, Paul. All right, I think we're back online here. Sorry about the delay. A new bill in New Jersey would require elementary school students to learn cursive, Joe.
What? That's crazy.
Lawmaker in New Jersey introduced a new bill that would require elementary schools to teach students how to read and write in cursive. Assemblywoman Angela McKnight wants students to become proficient in cursive by the end of 3rd grade. She believes cursive is a vital skill they will need for the rest of their lives. Back in 2010, cursive was dropped as a requirement under Common Core standards, and many schools opted not to include cursive in the curriculum. How many kids will know how to sign a check if they never learned how to write in cursive? The bill will now head to the Assembly Education Committee for further review.
Okay, first of all, kids don't write checks. ever. I have a lot of rentals. I have a lot of younger people that rent from me. They have no freaking. I'll say, well, can you write a check? They look at me like I'm.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like Morse code now. So if,
They
my
don't
wife
write
and I want to
checks.
do something in cigarette, we just write it in cursive, and our kids will have no idea what they're looking at. So.
So they got rid of it, and now they decided that it's gonna be pertinent again.
This Common
It's
Core,
how-
this
it's how
Common
things
Core
is.
crap that they came up with, whatever they said back in 2010, has been a nightmare for parents all across the country.
And teachers.
And the way that you and I learned how to do, say, math, hundreds of years ago, which worked for everybody for hundreds of years, it
Yeah.
seems like, was no longer sufficient enough. So you had, instead of, doing this and this to get your answer to your math, your mathematic problem, you got to take like 20 steps to get the answer.
Right.
To get the same stupid answer.
It baffles me. My
it's-
wife, being a teacher,
Yeah.
she'll tell me what they're doing for different math, and I say, what? I don't understand this at all.
Yeah, it's rough. So, I'm glad that they're trying to bring it back. It's
Yeah,
I mean, even now you're supposed to sign a signature, even if you use a debit card at Meijer or something like that. You're supposed to sign. I usually put like the Batman logo or something for my own entertainment. But
just put an X.
they never know the difference.
No, they don't.
Kansas man caught driving stolen SUV on way to bail out his brother, who was arrested in a stolen SUV.
Is it the same SUV?
Kansas man was arrested last week driving a stolen SUV to bail out his brother, who had been jailed hours earlier for stealing a separate SUV. The first sibling caught early Friday was 36-year-old Eric McCracken. He was arrested for driving a Chevy Trailblazer with a suspended license, according to the Jackson Sheriff's Office. Police said they later found out that the SUV had been reported stolen. Hours later, his younger brother, 32-year-old Keith McCracken, was arrested after leading deputies on a short chase in a stolen 2015 Chevy Silverado.
Ooh, he got a nicer one.
Yeah. It's
Were
believed
the plates expired on this one too?
Probably.
Idiot.
It's believed the younger McCracken was en route to the Jackson County Jail to post bail on his older brother in the stolen vehicle. The brothers were then immediately reunited inside the Jackson County Jail where they await bond. Oh, here you go.
Is there any more in the family?
The older McCracken was booked in for driving while suspended, as was his younger brother.
Great thing about these news articles is you really can't make them up.
Hi, Emily. Emily's checking in down there with us.
Oh, hey, Emmy.
UK woman organized medieval duel to the death between her husband, lover, and her lover to win her affection. UK prosecutors claim the woman arranged a medieval duel to the death between her husband and her lover to win her affection. Asta Buttafuoco, age 35, had just left her husband when she met 25-year-old Mantis Buttafuoco, who's a prisoner in Lithuania.
Are they related?
Online, I don't know. After his release from prison, Buttafuoco number 1 traveled to London, began to affair with Buttafuoco number 2. Her husband, 42-year-old Buttafuoco,
Three.
holy cow! I mean, there's like every letter in the alphabet are in these names. Did not want a divorce and continued to provide child support, according to testimony.
What kind of man would his wife leaves him for a much younger man who just got released from prison, and he's going, oh no, please don't leave me, just stay with me. What the hell?
Well, since both men claimed that Buttafuoco as their own, she allegedly arranged to have the men settle the matter through a medieval duel in an alleyway in East London. Her husband was stabbed to death on June 17th with at least 35 wounds to the neck, chest, and shoulders.
You think that was incidental? Or
Prosecutor Hugh Davies, there we go.
There we go.
Described the duel as a murderous assault with a single-bladed knife with death as the inevitable outcome. He added, in their different ways, each man felt they had claims over Buttafuoco, and the situation was inevitably going to come to a head. After her husband's murder, Buttafuoco harbored Buttafuoco number 2, deleted their text, and lied to the police. Davies described Buttafuoco as a manipulative and controlling figure central to the orchestration of these events. Man, that guy's
that's
a warrior.
Buttafuoco.
He's a wordsmith. Yeah.
Okay.
Buttafuoco has admitted to killing Buttafuoco 2, according to UK Metro. Buttafuoco has denied all charges that she manipulated the two men and obstructed the investigation. Her trial is ongoing. That was a mouthful. I really should have read that one through before I threw them.
You could have made up names. No one's going to check this out.
I need to start making notes. Okay,
They were all number 2s as far as I was concerned.
That's the worst one we've ever had, I think. Terre Haute man arrested in vehicle chase that aired on Live PD. So guys, do yourself a favor.
Wow.
This is on Indianapolis, WTHR Channel 13, this local news station here in Indiana. Just type in that headline in your browser. Terre Haute man arrested in vehicle chase that aired on Live PD. and you'll see this gentleman with "Crime Pays" tattooed across his forehead.
And it does. I can see that.
Well, crime does not pay. It will stand. It lands this guy in jail. Terre Haute PD has arrested a man in connection to a vehicle chase that happened last Friday. Donald Murray, age 38, is facing felony charges of criminal recklessness and resisting law enforcement. Police attempted to pull Murray over because he was driving at night with his headlights off. This incident aired on Live PD, and it all just went downhill for him for there. Crime pays. That's a face a mother could be proud of. Huh?
Wow. I've had people ask me why you guys don't do a live PD. Never mind. Apparently there's a reason that can't go on camera.
I saw a headline. I thought I saved it. I didn't. It was almost too stupid to be true, but apparently it is. There's a new viral butt sunning trick that's supposed to be good for your health. It's like sunning your butthole.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Josh Brolin, who's an actor, I can't think of anything he's been in. I have heard his name before. He warns against the viral butt sunning trick after burning his rear.
Oh, he tried it.
He tried it.
Genius.
Josh has warned against the perineum sunning advocated by Instagram influencer Metaphysical Megan.
Is that somebody doing that?
Yeah. So basically, if you, I guess, type that into your Google machine, you'll see people sunbathing their
They're
bits and
assholes.
pieces.
Why would you do that? Just the way it was formed, obviously it wasn't meant for sunlight. Even if you were naked, there's things blocking it. You dumbasses. You guys are all stupid.
This unusual...
How are you keeping up with all three of these?
Yeah, I know. This unusual practice came to light when American Instagrammer Megan shared a photo of herself in action, saying it gives her surges of energy and promotes better sleep. However, it seems not everyone has having such luck with it, which is a massive surprise. With Thanos, I don't know what that is. Actor Josh Brolin sharing the details of his efforts on Instagram. I tried this perineum sunning that I've been hearing about, and my suggestion is do not do it as long as I did. My pucker hole is crazy burn, and I was going to spend the day shopping with my family, and instead I'm icing and using aloe and burn creams because of severity of pain. I don't know who the bleep thought of this stupid bleep, but nonetheless, I tried it.
Wait a minute. He talks about how stupid he is, but yet he did it, and obviously for a long time. He didn't just do it for a second, and she's an idiot too, so thank goodness for people like that, because it gives us things to read about.
So words to the wise, don't try and suntan your bumhole.
You know what? If you're that stupid that we have to tell you that, well, we should invite him on the show.
You'll fit right in.
Wow.
I bookmarked this. Do yourselves another favor. Get into your Google machine. Again, out of WTHR, news site here in Indianapolis, or news station out of Indianapolis. UPS employee accused of stealing nearly $2,000 worth of packages.
In his hair?
The story is not that funny, but the photo of this cat is hilarious. Or you can just type in Emmanuel Reagan, that's Reggin Jr., age 18, and you will see the most impressive mane of, I guess you could call that hair. I don't know.
I'm not even sure. But I think a lot of those packages are right there.
Yeah. This is out of Miami, Florida. Seasonal employee with UPS is accused of stealing more than $1,000 worth of packages from customers while on the job. According to the arrest report, Emmanuel Reagan Jr., age 18, was helping a full-time driver unload packages Monday when he put aside 3 boxes in different locations by different businesses, the dumpsters at the businesses. One box had 2 Amazon Kindles inside, and the other 2 had an iPad 7 and a Surface Pro, totaling $1,707. After the driver and Reagan finished unloading the truck, the 2 left the building. The arrest report said Reagan returned to business later in the evening in a Nissan Altima and was seen on surveillance video putting all the boxes in his car. Reagan helped the driver unload more packages at the same business the next day, authorities said, before he again set aside a box, this time with an HP laptop by the dumpster. He was then accused of grabbing 2 more boxes with both had PlayStation 4s in them and putting them inside another dumpster. How does he know what these are? Is he just getting that damn lucky that he's getting these high-dollar things?
I don't know.
So basically, cameras finally caught him, and he was arrested on 3rd-degree grand theft charges in Miami. That's a lot of high-dollar equipment there, man. I kind of wonder how he knew what was in those boxes. I mean,
are they? Yeah, are they?
He was just getting that lucky.
And where was that in Florida?
Miami. Yeah, we're in Florida now. We
Okay.
just don't have the segue.
No song.
No song this week. So. Florida woman buys baby bouncer at Goodwill, gets a rifle instead.
That happens all the time.
A woman in Florida wanted to get her friends a baby shower gift to welcome the new addition to their family. She found a great deal at Goodwill on what she thought was a baby bouncer, but she said the sealed box ended up containing a loaded rifle instead. Veronica Alvarez Rodriguez went to a Goodwill in Valparaiso, Florida on Sunday and found two gifts, a baby bathtub toy and a baby Einstein bouncer. She thought, I was winning. I thought I hit the jackpot with two gifts that were not open, she told CNN. Later that day at the baby shower, her mother-to-be Amber Rosas and her husband received the gift and loved it. Rosas and her husband were eager to take the bouncer out of the box, but were shocked when they found a Mossberg 715T semi-automatic rifle was inside. All of her husbands are in the military. There were 5 soldiers around, so they knew what kind of gun it was right away. Darlene's logged on. Hi there, Darlene. All the questions from the people at party started coming in, and everyone was just laughing. After realizing what they had on their hands, they called police and explained the situation.
Wait, they started laughing.
Yeah, they thought it was funny.
Oh.
Police were able to confirm it was a .22 caliber rifle, although Crestview police spokesman Andrew Schneider told CNN he can't confirm whether it was actually loaded. So basically they're going to do a little investigation and try and figure out why that rifle ended up in a box from the Goodwill.
A sealed box, yeah.
That's kind of odd. You think they would do a little bit more checking on that, I would think.
I don't know, it comes in sealed. They probably thought it was good. I don't know. I don't know how all that works.
One of our favorite counties, Joe Pasco County, Florida. Elementary school music teacher charged with battery. Pasco sheriff's deputies arrested Stephen Ailing, age 54, after he repeatedly touched the buttocks of a man who was cleaning his house after being told multiple times by the victim to stop. The suspect doing the groping is a music teacher at Sunray Elementary School.
How many times would you let some guy touch your butt before you? I don't see any warning coming from that. It's like
Maybe he pays well.
you touched my butt accidentally. I hope you did it again. I'm leaving.
Canadian man tries to trade in stolen car, lights dealership on fire instead. Out of Miami-Dade County, Florida, a Canadian man tried to trade in his rental car to purchase a new car before later torching several new vehicles at the local dealership. On Friday, Sanjeev Grul, age 36, dropped by the Mercedes-Benz of Miami dealership. Grul met with a Mercedes salesperson and explained that he'd like to trade his stolen car and finance a new vehicle.
Is that how he said it?
The sales associate, yeah, I guess he did, because the sales associate alerted the dealership manager, who took a picture of the stolen vehicle, as well as Grul's Canadian driver's license, and Grul himself.
He posed
Now,
with
none of
it.
this.
Here's my stolen car.
Dealership management searched Grul's vehicle, the VIN number, and learned that the car was rented in September in Las Vegas at an Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and it was not reported stolen at the time. After his request for a trade-in was denied, Grul left without incident. Just after 3 a.m. on Saturday, dealership video cameras showed Grul pull up in the same rental car as he attempted to trade in hours earlier. Grul hopped a fence and appeared to pour liquid on a vehicle parked in the dealership sales lot before lighting an object on fire and tossing it at the vehicle. The vehicle was immediately engulfed in flames. It and 2 nearby vehicles were completely destroyed, and 3 other vehicles were also damaged. According to investigators, the total estimated damage to the vehicles was $300,000.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
after 7 a.m., Miami police officers were called to the Design Hotel where he was involved in an unrelated disturbance. Upon making contact with Grul, MPD officers noticed a very strong odor of gasoline in his hotel room and on him. Miami Beach police officers were alerted by hotel staff that Grul's vehicle was parked on the property. A search of the vehicle revealed strong odor of gasoline as well as empty bottles with paper wicks that resembled Molotov cocktails. Miami Beach police officers, found him and took him into custody, taking him to the hospital for a mental evaluation first. He is a Canadian citizen, and he's currently facing charges that include second-degree arson and criminal mischief. You ever try to trade in a stolen vehicle on a new Mercedes?
I've never done that, but I know that if they don't do it, I should start something on fire because it worked out well for him. What did he think he was going to accomplish? He's just mad because they didn't.
Well, he's obviously got some mental issues. I mean, he admitted that he was trying to trade in a stolen car.
Well, he went from Canada to Florida. He had some mental issues.
Out of Pensacola, a woman was taken off a plane and into custody after she faked an illness in an attempt to get a better seat on her flight. American Eagle flight from Pensacola to Miami, how far can that even be? Returned to the airport around 6:26 a.m. Friday within an hour of takeoff. because a passenger was in need of medical assistance. Shortly after takeoff, a female passenger began complaining and asking for a bigger seat, according to the Pensacola police. When she's told by airline employees they could not offer a better accommodation, she suddenly became ill. The pilot rerouted the plane back to Pensacola due to the claim of illness. Upon their arrival, employees realized the woman was faking the illness and asked her to get off the plane. Police were called when she refused to deplane. Other passengers deplaned normally, and the woman agreed to get off the plane after conversations with the police and the flight captain. The plane would then depart at 7:41 a.m. for the second time. The woman was taken into custody and transported to a mental health facility for an evaluation. Under the Baker Act, this is the same thing that the Canadian fellow went in under. Baker Act is a Florida law that allows officials to detain people who may be impaired due to mental illness. Wood said that the woman who's not being named by police because she was taken into custody under the Baker Act has yet to be charged, but criminal charges could be filed.
Well, the other guy was arrested under that. We got his name.
Yeah,
It was probably Buttafuoco.
yeah, probably. Well, things are winding down. We got one story for politics, and then we're out.
Oh,
Talking about our least favorite human being on the planet.
well, Kaepernick. I hate that guy. I was gonna say something else, but yeah.
So, this is going to be short and sweet. We've already talked about this. I just bookmarked it because I thought it was funny.
I already know what it is.
Kaepernick had a impromptu workout, like it must have been 2 or 3 weeks ago now, I guess. Maybe
Yeah.
more than that. Of course, everybody, well, he didn't get enough time to, he's had years to freshen up. Right?
No, he's stupid.
Yeah.
The NFL gave him, I mean, they said, okay, and they didn't give him a whole lot of time, but they said, you know, you can work out for the NFL, for all these GMs or coaches or whatever, and he wouldn't sign a waiver, and so he moved it with no notice. He moves it to a high school
Mhm.
where his boys can all film it. He has wide receivers that are there that aren't NFL players, but I guess would like to be. But hardly any of the coaches. It was, 45 minutes away?
Yeah.
And he expected everyone to drop what they're doing. It's like he didn't even want to get signed. He just wants the publicity. He's a terrible person.
Yeah. Well, I just thought that a little bit of good news that came out of that, I guess, is a wide receiver at the Kaepernick workout got an offer for a tryout with the Cleveland Browns.
Now, who got the offer?
The wide receiver.
Oh, it wasn't Kaepernick?
Kaepernick is still gainfully unemployed with the National Football League.
You think he's collecting unemployment?
Yeah.
He probably
Probably
is.
While controversial former National Football League quarterback Colin Kaepernick has not received a tryout after he put on a November 16th workout in front of scouts, one of the receivers who worked with him that day has received an invitation. Jordan Vesey was one of the wide receivers that Kaepernick threw to during his own workout. Vesey, I don't even know how to say it. VC was invited to do a tryout for the Cleveland Browns, according to longtime NFL reporter Howard Balzer. Vesey has not appeared in an NFL game, but he did play 2 years at the University of California. Back in 2016, he caught 25 passes for 306 yards, and a senior year in 2017, 38 passes for 491. Kaepernick has stayed busy with his activism while waiting a call for the NFL. On Thanksgiving, Kaepernick spoke at the Indigenous People Sunrise Ceremony, which is also referred to as Unthanksgiving in San Francisco at Alcatraz Island. Native Americans have occupied the formal federal prison for 50 years. So I spent the morning at the People's Sunrise Ceremony on the 50-year anniversary of the occupation of Alcatraz, according to Kaepernick. The U.S. government has stolen over 1.5 billion acres of land from the Indians. Thank you to my Indian family. I'm here with you today and always. Kaepernick also retweeted a Washington Post article by writer Christopher Petrella that said Thanksgiving had racist implications. Antebellum campaigns to establish Thanksgiving as a national holiday grew up alongside colonist efforts to remove free black people from the United States. Nationalization advocates mobilized white fears of black equality to veered support for a holiday. That was a mouthful. Kaepernick...
I don't even know what you said.
I don't know. Kaepernick started the anti-police protest back in 2016 when he took a knee during an exhibition game during the national anthem. He's also sported socks depicting police officers as pigs, along with his Nike shoes on a playing field. He had a whopping 3-16 record as a starting quarterback in his final 2 years with the 49ers.
Wow, he's good.
No NFL team has signed the former professional football player since he quit the 49ers after kneeling on the field for the national anthem back in 2016. I'm not going to stand up to show pride for a flag for a country that oppresses black people and the people of color.
But
Why don't
isn't
you
he
get
trying?
the F out?
Isn't he oppressing the police?
Well, that's because that fits his narrative and it gets him attention. So
I don't understand how he can make such a big deal about. Here he has this platform. He has all this money. He has this huge platform, and he has to do it on the field. He has to do it at work, and then he has to oppress people, police, military too. I mean, I don't know. It's very disrespectful. I'm not a fan.
yeah, I mean, obviously there's a certain type of group of people that like Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
And
But what's really cool is that wide receiver
yeah.
that had 4 catches his whole college career 700 years ago got signed by somebody.
I mean,
They
here's this
probably
guy-
thought, if you can catch crap from that terrible quarterback, come play with us.
It's not like the NFL. What's the Canadian Football League, the CFL?
Yeah.
They're not reaching out to Kaepernick.
Nope.
Vince
There's a USFL
McMahon-
again.
Yeah, the USFL has not reached
Or
out to
whatever
Kaepernick that
yeah.
we know of anyway. That's what was said. Vince McMahon's bringing back the XFL.
Right? They're not calling.
I've not heard any, and they're all. He's all about the presentation and showmanship, right? So that could bring a lot of buzz around his new league, but is it worth it? You know what I mean? So Vince, I don't know how many of you know much about Vince McMahon. He kind of came. His dad started the back in the WWF.
WWF, right?
Years and years ago. Vince bought it and made it into the big. Back then, it was just kind of a territorial thing.
I watched it
like
back
even
in
when
the
you and I
day.
were growing up. They
Yeah.
had what they call territory. So Wisconsin would have a territory. Ohio
Yeah,
would have a
we
territory.
had the Crusher and the Claw. And
Yeah, and then once Vince kind of got things going with the rock and roll type wrestling, where Hulk Hogan became the biggest thing in the
Yeah.
universe, he kind of he changed what the industry is today.
Oh, yeah, it's
it's
very
a billion
commercial
dollar
now.
it's a billion
Mhm.
dollar industry. He's really the only game in town now on that level anyway.
Right.
But Vince McMahon is very patriotic. Every year he takes that company and does what they call a tribute for the troops. So he puts on a free show for the troops overseas
He's not signing Colin.
every year. So yeah, he's a patriot.
Right.
He's always has been. I've read a lot of articles where he's done a lot of things kind of under the radar, but
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
That's
so-
cool.
and they do a lot. Excuse me, I'm starting to lose my voice here a little bit, but they do a lot for like Make-A-Wish kids, and
Mhm.
he kind of influences his staff to. They go above and beyond for a lot of different things. So I can't imagine that even though he's in for the showmanship, I can't imagine he would reach out to somebody like Kaepernick.
There's a line.
And he probably wants winners on the football field. And obviously at 3 and whatever that was, 13, 14.
3 and 3,000, I think it was.
So, well, that's all we got for this week, Joe. You got anything you want to add before we?
No, I don't
Built
think
out.
I do.
Sorry for the crummy.
Everything. Sorry for everything.
Yeah, the crummy background and the
Us
us in general. So
and talking,
maybe we'll have a little bit more time next week to get things back to normal. So,
which is still terrible.
thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, hey, wait.
Hmm.
Because so we're gonna try to eat Vegemite next week.
I still don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either. Some sort of yeast infection or something.
So for those of you that enjoyed the fish.
Everyone enjoyed the fish.
The fish experience, we've been encouraged to try something called Vegemite now. It's supposed to be pretty disgusting.
Yeah,
I can't imagine after smelling that fish that anything will ever be that bad again. But
I can't imagine. Well, I think we started from the very worst. So everything's gonna be all right after
It's
that.
gonna be a letdown from there.
But if you can think of anything that you'd like us to, you'd like Lee to try, I'd be happy to hand it to him. That's the least I could
Because
do.
we all know the crap comes to me. The nasty jelly beans, the
We were talking about that.
Sprite.
I've had people say, "Why does Lee always get the short end?" You guys planned that? Went, no, but it's a great
there's
idea.
just this black cloud that constantly looms over my head. It's been that way for years. So I've just come to live with it, come to terms with it.
When we were doing that jelly bean thing for a while, after a while, I wasn't even scared anymore. He's gonna get the shitty one. I'm fine. Oh, I got chocolate. I don't like chocolate that much. I got dog barf. So if you can think of something, go ahead and send it to us. And if anybody would want to be on the show, I think that'd be fun. Whoever suggests it, he can be on the show also, and maybe they can give it a try.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that months ago. You know, we talked about having guests on here. We've had people reach out over time. Joe and I were trying to get our feet wet.
I think that'd be a great idea, and if you can suggest something, and you get the product, you bring it, you be on the show, and we give you a shirt or something.
Yeah.
I think that'd be.
Yeah, we can do something like that. Did we ever get last week's winner all of our stuff?
I have the shirt for, and I have the cup. You said you had something else.
So we got to get the gift card. So
Okay.
We'll reach out to you, and I'm sorry, we'll have to go back and see who the winner was. I can't recall, but we need to.
But we'll get it.
So.
We'll get it to her.
So anyway, that's what we got. We can start entertaining having the guests on there. We'll see if we end up going live on all these sites or not. We haven't used this camera that we're using today in a long time, so have to bear with us if there was some technical difficulties. So, usually I can edit all those out. But
well, live we're kind of screwed.
yeah, so live it is.
So are you.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.